what's up, mob? Oh my god, this car has been fucking fighting me for just like the last. I've been trying to make a video for y'all for like the last 2 months. I have like a gang of footage, videos that I already started, and then just madness. Just all kind of weird stuff. I had like a main relay go out. Pretty much had to get a new battery. I thought my DME had went out. Bought an MSD 81, but it looks like the one that I bought was crap. And then, I go into my fueling trying to figure out why I'm not getting fuel pressure, and the piece that I bought from PFS just kind of exploded, I guess. So, I went through a whole deal with that. So what I ended up doing is spending money I didn't want to spend, and I went ahead and got the Precision fuel pressure regulator / fuel filter unit and put that in, and the piece is nice. It looks trick. It's beautiful. And decided to do a unboxing and an installation on it. So I'm gonna share that with you guys. So anybody decides to get that in the future, reference this video. It's not really hard to put in. It's just some steps you got to go through to get it to go in. So check out this video. Not really gonna have too much driving on here, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. 28th, track will be open. Wild Wednesdays, I'm gonna get out there and try and get some times. I still need to finish getting my tuner data log or whatever. So JSR, that's coming. So while I got you here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Alright, figure we do a quick unboxing. This is the box it comes in. Crack this over here. Ah! Dropped my knife. About to stab myself in the leg. Knife. Alright. Nicely packed, as you can see. Now this comes with different units. They got the other unit comes with the regulator in there. I think it's like a 5-bar regulator, fuel pressure regulator. Since I already have an external regulator from my previous setup, I just got the straight return. So I just put a 6AN double-sided fitting in here, and then I'll just run my tubing that's on the passenger side, pull that back out, and then run it over here, and then it'll do the return through here. It'll come out here. Should be another tube in the box that connects to here and then runs back over to the passenger side of the tank. So that's how my setup's gonna go. As you can see, here's the plug for the fuel filler. The connector on there is a nice sprung quick connect. So no more of that wrestling with the OEM setup. You gotta push it in and then say a prayer and then pull it back out and hope it pops out and you don't break anything. Got 2 ports here. That's your return, and this is the feed. It'll take a hose, plugs in here, runs into the opposite side of the tank, and that's connects to your fuel pump, and plumbs it through there, sends it to the front of the car. This is for your Venturi. I still got mine, so it'll be hooked up, and of course you got these 2 wires for your fuel leveler. And there's supposed to be a filter in here. Let's see if it's paper or mesh, wire mesh. looks like it might be a wire mesh with some paper in there. I don't want to pull this out because I don't want to find out I can't pop it back in. I'm pretty sure you can, but screw it. Let's see if we can... Oh, screws out there. Alright, so you see, that's what it looks like on the inside, and it looks like it screws in place. So I'm assuming you can probably just hit up Precision and get the replacement filter in the future once you've run through it and you feel like you need a new filter. Screw all that back together. So that's in there nice and firm. Alright, and let's see what else is in the box. You stay still. It's coming out everywhere. Here's the rest of your tubing. This, I assume this is your return tube. So just pull this piece out, pop it into your return, fish it over to the passenger side well, and I guess you could probably hook it onto the top of the fuel pump, the top hat, so that it dumps inside of the bucket. And then you got your two-ended tubing here. One end goes into the unit here on the larger, and then you'd fish this over to the passenger side, and then this end would go into your fuel pump. Alright, what else did I get? Precision sticker. I think I already got a few of these. And their card. So, let me get on cracking and putting this in the car. And hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. Okay, and I'm also doing some extra stuff. Since I already have a port over there, I want to set it up for the future for when I go port injection. I want to be able to just plug my auxiliary fuel pump in here, screw it on, and then it'll have its own feed. So try and figure that out while I got everything out. And then I have a plug that I could put on top here that I'll just plug this off until I get to doing that in the future. So stay tuned. So as you can see here, I got the trunk pretty much, the back seat pretty much taken apart. To do this, you're going to have to remove both sides, the driver's side and the passenger side here. As you can see, like I was saying, I already have a port here for the return, but I'm going to have to plug that off and then move it over here when I put the unit in, and then the return will go in here. So tools you want to make sure you have is the ring tool to remove that guy in there. This tool you should have two arms, but I've taken this thing off so many times now I don't really need both of the arms to take it off. I can just use one. So where you might want to start is on the passenger side, taking the actual fuel pump assembly out, because the tube that runs across is plugged into your fuel pump, and you're going to need that to be unplugged. And I believe if your system is already set up stock, one of the tubes is also crimped into the top of the fuel bucket. Mine isn't on there because I have an aftermarket, well, not really aftermarket, I have a modified fuel bucket, so mine isn't on there the same way. So let me see if I can pull that out and show you guys. Of course, I'd have a full tank of gas when this happens, so
I got a whole thing of E85 I got to deal with. As you can see, I got the PFS unit. I got enough issues with them, so um, I don't even want to go over that. But if you have a normal setup, you should just have one quick connect connected to the fuel pump. But the way mine is set up, I got two connectors that go on there, and this is the tube that comes from the other side, so you need to have that disconnected to pull the rest of that unit out. So we'll just tuck that down in there. And since I'm going to be working on this bucket a little bit, the fuel top hat, I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole bucket out. Try and empty as much fuel back in here as possible. Come on, buddy. Alright. Okay, that wants to be in the way, of course. And you might have to pull the fuel leveler out when you're trying to get your pump out. So, drop that back down in there. Pull this through. And try not to spill gas everywhere. Pull the leveler arm through. And pour all your fuel back into the tank. Alright, so I also want to say with PFS, my problems didn't begin. Well, one of my problems began when I first got that unit. It's put in here for the, I guess it's like a stage 2 or 3 DIY fuel pump. They had a tube in there that was supposed to connect to both sides, and it was too short. And they barely wanted to give me any help on fixing it myself. So I ended up having to, buy several different tubes and connectors and figure out what sizes I needed to make it work to make it longer so that I could connect the whole damn thing. But I figured it out, and this is what I came up with, and it works. It's been working. Alright, once you get that disconnected, you want to come over here to the driver's side. Pull that ring off. Pull all of this out. Now my issue with PFS, I'm pretty sure I done already posted up a picture of it, but actually this whole assembly had fallen off, like the spring and this bottom arm part, and that was sitting at the bottom of the fuel tank in the corner, and the fuel leveler was all wrapped up and stuff. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but since we have the precision piece, we don't have to worry about that no more, so no need to speak on it. Set that down. Use 2 hands. Things easier. Pull the fuel leveler out of there, get it out of the way. Got this up, out the way, and what is this thing? What is keeping it from coming out? Here we go. And this is the piece that came apart. It's, as you see, it goes through the whole piece there and transitions to this, and it just blew apart. Crap. So let's go ahead and pull all of this from the other side. Come on. And fish that back through from the other side. You can pull this whole assembly out. Alright. So once you got the unit out the car, it should look like this. You're going to have to take some stuff off of here so that you can transition it on to the precision unit. So first thing you want to take off is this arm here. You do that with a screwdriver. As you can see, there's a small tab right in here. You want to push that in and pop it out. And that should come out like so. Now, the next piece you want to take out is this arm here. You want to pull that out, and it's pretty much the same deal. You might need a smaller screwdriver, but you want to press that hook piece, if you can see up in there. You want to press that in and pop it out. This bad boy's gonna fight you, so be prepared. Come on. Alright, so as you see, you should have that out. And then the last thing you need to disconnect is this piece here for the venturi. Stick a small screwdriver in there and pop that piece out. Come on, buddy. And it should pop out and look like that. As you can see, there's zip ties on there, so you can break those zip ties, and you can re-zip tie them after, or you can leave them loose if you want to. But what you want to do is cut your the wires for the fuel leveler off. Like I said, it doesn't matter which one goes in here. There's just looking for reference or whatever. So you want to cut off a decent amount. I'd say about 5 or 6 inches worth, and get that off of there. And you'll want to save that to stick back onto the arm here. Alright, once you got all that stuff loose, you want to put this piece in here. I believe you have to round off these edges, so I'll get a razor blade here in a second and do that. Just round it off enough so that it'll fit in here. And then this piece here goes into this slot here. You have your tubes that go to the passenger side. What I'm going to do, instead of connecting them and then try and fish them over to the other side, I'm going to fish them over and then connect the tubes while they're sitting over on the driver's side. I think that'll probably be easier than trying to connect everything and then fish it over there all at once. Alright, here we go. So just take your razor blade and just go down about this far, and just, you want to just round the edges. You don't have to go crazy with it or anything. Alright. I think that's all 4 corners. So I'm going to take it and wedge it up in there. Or not. Let me pull it back out, round it a little bit more. Alright, let's try it again. Want to make sure it snaps all the way in there like that. Alright, next piece is this arm. You want to pop that up in here. Make sure that's secure, and that should look like that. And then you have your venturi. You want that to come around here and pop in down there. Take that, pop it in there. Make sure you go in straight as possible. Make sure it's snapped in place. Should be in there like that. And like I said, I'm going to take the tubes and run them through over to the passenger side. So let's get back in the car. And of course, this big boy is going to have to be fished back through. Alright, don't forget the fuel leveler. Slide it in here. You don't have to slide it in yet, but you want to make sure that the lines are pointing out this way so that they can be put in here. So once you get your orientation right, strip the wires, put them in here, and then crimp them. Alright, so it should look something like this. You have your fuel leveler sensor wired in. Have your arm here and this other arm, and then now you can go to the fun of fishing your hoses through your tank full of frickin' gas. Alright, as you can see, back in the car, you've got two hoses. You've got the return line that has a fitting on one end and the other end is open. This part is the piece. This piece is the one that gets fished over to the passenger side. And on the other tube, you've got a straight and a 90 degree, and the straight is the one that stays on the driver's side, and the 90 degree goes to your fuel pump on the passenger side. So let's fish this stuff over. Alright, so once you get all your necessary tubes fished over to the other side, you got your smaller straight tube. That's for your return line. Clip that in here. Let me put that large tube in there first. So put your large tube in on the large port, and then the smaller one in here. Tug on everything, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and then try and fish all of this back into the tank without breaking anything. Cap has the same lip on there that should line up over here. And then take your fuel ring. Should have a little spring tension on here. Make sure you're holding it down. Get everything lined up properly. Should be able to do the ring by hand and then torque it down later once you get everything in place. And now you're ready to do your fuel stuff. Now, headache I'm gonna probably do off camera is I gotta fish this line right here over there so I can plug it into here. So that's probably gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'm not gonna let y'all watch me torture myself like this. So next thing you want to do is put your passenger side, your fuel pump assembly back together, should be ready to roll.
Moment of truth, y'all.
So after you get done hooking everything up, you want to check and make sure you don't have any fuel little leaks anywhere. Everything looks good on the opposite side. So I want to give a shout out to Precision. Thank you for coming in with that clutch piece. And shit, now all we got to do is get the second revision in for the E85 and get out there and kill. Stick with me.